Have you ever stopped to wonder what makes really effective teachers effective? Well, if you have, I'm about to share a great secret with you today, and that is what makes these teachers so good. Hi, I'm the one that shares with 2 Good Classrooms, and this is my space for homeschool moms, homeschool dads, and my fellow teachers. So let's get right into it today, and we're going to talk about what is the number one thing or the number one trait of the most effective teachers. And that is, wait for it, consistency. Consistency is the number one trait of effective teachers. Why, you may ask? What does it mean to be consistent? I'm about to share it with you. Why is consistency such an important trait? Well, being consistent means that you do the same thing the same way every day, that the same rules apply to each student no matter who the student is. And that may sound a little boring to you, especially the part about doing the same thing the same way over and over again. But in reality, what it does is it establishes a sense of fairness. It establishes a sense of safety for our students. Let's talk about it. When you have a rule that says we're going to sharpen our pencils at the beginning of class and at the end of class, that means we sharpen our pencils at the beginning of class and at the end of class. So what you have to do as a teacher is you're going to have some pencils that are pre-sharpened at your desk just in case something happens with one of the students and they need to sharpen their pencil, because you can't say, well, I'm going to allow you to do this today. Or if little Susie comes in, you know little Susie's our favorite, and she wants to go sharpen her pencil. Okay, well, little Susie needs to. No. Everyone sharpens their pencils at the beginning of class and at the end of class. That's being consistent. That's being fair. We need to start our classes in the same way each day. That teaches our students what to expect from us. That we're not throwing a monkey wrench in there. We're doing something new or something different. Because I know myself, I like some consistency too. If you tell me that we can wear jeans on Friday, I expect baby to wear jeans on Friday. I don't expect baby to wear jeans on Friday and you say, well, we'll wear jeans on Wednesday and we can't wear jeans on Friday, or we're going to do this one way today and we're going to do something else tomorrow. That causes a sense of chaos. And as human beings, whether we're students or teachers or whoever, whatever it is that we are, we all need to be able to feel like we understand what's going on. We know what to expect and we're comfortable. Let's talk about the safety thing. When our students feel safe, which is how they feel when we're consistent, when they can trust us, then they're going to open up more to us. They're going to feel safer to interact in class and do a little more than they would if we were not consistent. Several years ago, I used to loop my classes. That means I had the same class from one year to the next. I had the same students over and over. I had them for 2 years straight. So what happened was my students, the first year I had them, were learning me. They had to get to know me. And as the year progressed, of course, they did. But by year 2, when they came back for their second year, I had almost no behavioral problems. I had no issues with my parents because they already knew me. They knew I had established a routine. They knew I had a set procedure, a set way of doing things. So I walked in class. It was like the first week of school. And so what I always did was I always gave my students a list of our vocabulary words, our spelling words for the whole 9 weeks. That way I didn't have to keep giving out papers every week. Of course, on my newsletter, I always rewrote them down and placed them in there so they had them again. But I always gave my parents and my students a list at the beginning of the 9 weeks of what we were going to be doing. It's almost like a syllabus, but they knew. So I walked into class. I had just given out the words, the vocabulary words, the spelling word, and I looked over and I was going over the rules and routines. And I had a group of girls. They were back to just working away. I was like, "What are you doing? You're not listening." They said, "Oh, we're doing our homework." I said, "You're not doing homework." They said, "Yes, we are." I said, "What are you doing?" So then they went on to explain to me what they were doing with their vocabulary and spelling words, and I like to fill out because it was exactly what I was going to tell them to do. They were doing it because they knew that's what I wanted. That's what I expected each week with the vocabulary and spelling words. So I had a routine already established. So that's a part of being consistent. Worked out real great for them, worked out great for me. Another thing about being consistent is it helps to minimize those behavioral problems. Like I said, when I first started, I didn't have a whole lot of behavioral problems out of my students I had the second year around because they knew what I wanted and knew what I expected. My parents also knew what I expected. So Wasn't a big deal. I didn't have a problem contacting my parents. Didn't have a problem going over what's happening because they already knew. We already had these things established because I was consistent. So consistency, it can make or break you, but it is the most important trait that a teacher can have. So I would like to ask you guys, if you haven't done so already, to please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, to subscribe, to like my channel, so that I can make more videos for you and I can help more teachers and homeschoolers like you. Question: what do you do consistently with your students or with your children? If you're homeschooling, they're your own kids. What do you consistently do? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Now back to consistency. How do you become consistent? You become consistent by having a routine that you follow on a daily basis. You become consistent by having a set of rules or expectations that you have for your students that you go over. Well, you don't really have to go over them, that you enforce or that you use every day. The first days of school, you might want to make sure that you have your rules posted. That way it's not a surprise when you ask your students to do something. Anyway, again, this was the Wonder Shoes with 2 Cute Classrooms, talking about the most important trait of an effective teacher. And we know that is consistency. I'll see you guys in the next video.